So what I'm suggesting to you is simply this. If you can differentiate a dollar, if you can differentiate coffee, if you can differentiate water, please don't suggest to me that you cannot differentiate what you do. I believe that all of us can find a way to stand out and move up, to separate ourselves from the pack, to stand above our competition. We just have to know the strategies and the formulas of doing so. That's what we're going to be about. And what we have to do is to break it down, separate it, because there are three distinct levels at which all of us here interact with our customers. And the reason this is so important is because we need to pull them apart and work on each of these three levels, as opposed to lumping everything together and saying, oh, that's the customer experience, that's customer service, all the same. The other important aspect of these three levels is that they are progressive. So in other words, if you haven't taken care of me at level 1, what you do for me at level 2 and 3 has no traction. You got to get level 1 down before I consider what you're doing at level 2. So here are the three levels, and think about how we can pull them apart and what you need to do to make your business more distinctive in each of these three levels. Level 1 is what we call processing. So notice what we got going on here. We got copycat competition where we're paying more attention to our competitor than our customer. We have more and tougher competitors that the internet is dropping in, and this global competition is changing for us, so times have gotten tougher. And we've also got the fact that we take our best customers for granted and they seem to take us for granted. Individually, each one of those creates a difficult challenge for business. But collectively, they create a collapse of distinction. What we have to do are to find ways that we can stand out and move up. So one of the things that I did was to study the businesses that I've had the pleasure of working with and working for, and talking to them about their customers and interviewing their customers and working with their customers to try to find out truly what customers really want. And what we found was pretty interesting. There were 6 basic dimensions of what customers seek in today's marketplace. But here, to me, was the most astonishing aspect of the study that we did, and that's simply this. Customers do not... So I fly into Newark, I rent a car from Hertz, I drive up to Princeton, give them a speech. Next morning I wake up, I become a Manhattan rush hour commuter. How these folks can drink their Starbucks, talk on their cell phone, drive with their knees, honk the horn, and give me the finger all at the same time. I don't know, but they found a way to do it. It was incredible. I finally find my way into the building in Manhattan where I'm speaking, park in the parking garage, go up and give the speech, and they were a terrific group, just like you folks. It was just a great mountaintop experience. I finish the speech, go down, pay the $300 to get out of the parking garage. And now I'm driving back to LaGuardia Airport to check my rental car in and fly back home to the Midwest. But as I'm driving, my adrenaline's pumping. You know, I'm thinking about how great the speech went, and the skyline of Manhattan is so powerful and so impressive. And it's one of these things you never think is going to happen to you. It's always somebody else. Auto insurance companies call it stop and squat. 2 crooks work together. One pulls up beside you, another is in front of you. As traffic is moving normally, the one in front of you stands on their brakes. There's nowhere to evade, and these 2 crooks split the money that they make from the settlement on a rear-end collision. Well, here I am driving along thinking about the city, thinking about the speech, and all of a sudden the guy in front of me just stands on it. Bang! Fortunately, my car wasn't damaged. But the one from Hertz was totaled. My car was home. You know? The airbag went off. It sounded like somebody shot a shotgun there in the car. And have you ever had something like that happen? I think we go on automatic pilot. You know what I mean? We start responding by instinct rather than thinking. We're so disoriented and shook up. I pry open the door of my rental car. I run up to see if the guy hit was okay. Police later told me his 11th rear-end collision of the month. I go back. I find my cell phone under the deflated airbag. I call 911. But still on autopilot, still operating robotically, instinctually. I realize there's another call I've got to make. If you've ever rented a car, you've seen it on the ticket jacket. If you have an accident, first call the police, then call Hertz. I've got to call Hertz and tell them I've crashed their car. But I'm still not all together yet. I'm shook up. I'm flying on autopilot. I dial the number. I've got my rental record number. She answers on the first ring. Hertz, how may I help you? Robotically, I read my rental record number. I tell her I've been involved in an accident, this mile marker. Need to get a record. Need to process the accident claim. Hope to get a ride to the airport. Take a later flight home. She interrupts. She says, Mr. McCain, is that? Yes. So, well, sir, I've got all your information from that number you gave me, but first, are you okay? But I'm still on autopilot. Yes, ma'am, I'm fine, but I need a record at this mile marker. I need to get a ride to the airport. Hope to catch a later flight home. She interrupts again and says, sir, excuse me for saying this. You don't sound all right. Are you sure you're okay? Well, for the first time since the wreck, I took a deep breath and kind of got my wits about me, my legs underneath me, and I said, ma'am, I got to tell you, I am really shook up. I'm not injured. I'm physically fine. I'm okay. She says, oh, that is great. For you see, Hertz can always get another car. We can never get another Mr. McCain. I didn't mean to hit him. He stopped. I am so sorry. At that instant, I became a Hertz customer for life, forever. Exactly. Avis is $1 cheaper. I don't care. Hertz has told me I'm more important than their cars. I'm not going anywhere else.